All right, YouTube world, we found Bree. How's it going today?
Everything's okay.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
So we're up here in Camden. We're doing these videos for our YouTube channel. You're okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So what brings you to Camden?
Well, I was born and raised here. When I was 18 years old, I moved to Florida, and then I came back here because I became homeless in Florida. So it was easier for me to survive in Camden, so I came back here because I had more family members here.
Okay. Do you currently have an addiction problem?
Yes, I do.
And what is your current addiction?
Well, right now I am using dope and cocaine, and but I started out with Percocets, I'm gonna say pills, oxycodone. And when I wasn't able to afford those anymore, then I got started with the dope.
So you could buy Percocets on the street just like you can dope, right?
Yes. But it's just easier and cheaper. It was easier and cheaper for me to go with the heroin.
I see. Now, why were you put on Percocets?
I actually started out with Vicodins. It was because I tore a ligament in my knee, and it went from there. And then, but actually, I enjoyed that high when I was on it. It was just for, it wasn't a long-term thing, it was just temporary. But I didn't continue at that time with the Vicodin. But with me, it was more like just partying drugs. Like I tried ecstasy and shrooms and Xanaxes and all types of things like that. It was just for partying at first. And then the addiction started when I was forced to take care of myself. Like I couldn't afford to live in Florida like normal people was. I wasn't a person that could be around people a lot, and I needed to like have my own things going. Like I always was insecure because I'd never had what everybody else had. So I started breaking the law, trying to survive to like and maintain a normal life what people thought was normal anyway. And that's how I became addicted, because I was ripping and running and I needed something to keep me up. But then when I used the things to keep me up, I needed something to bring me down. And then it became one and one. I don't know if I'm explaining it right.
Is it possible to take just enough powder to bring you to a certain level without having to take something else to bring you back down?
Well, like I started out, before I actually used powder, I used powder first. It was like a group thing, and then I liked it so much I just kept going with it. And then the powder became too expensive, and then I was introduced to crack cocaine.
But now you're doing both.
And now I'm doing both because when I do the crack, it's good. But then you find yourself, when you try something that's really good, you want to keep going with that goodness. But then you get too high, and then you're like, damn, I need something to bring me down. And then that's when the dope came in. But I was introduced to what is called Roxy's. It was an epidemic back I'm gonna say like 06, 07, where everybody was doing pills, and I didn't know nothing about them. So you have to be careful when people be like, here, try this will bring you down.
Free
and that's what happened to me. Yes. Yeah. And the next thing you know, it was just like cocktails of drugs, like, you know, it was that.
So do you have a plan of moving out of this lifestyle?
I try right now. That's my thing. It's hard. It's like you want to have a plan, but then you don't know what plan to have, what is going to work for you. That's the hardest thing about getting away, is coming up with a real reality solution. We can make plans. Everybody says, oh, I got a plan, one day I'm going to get out of it. But the reality is, it's not even really making a plan. It's just doing it. If you want to stop, you just have to say, hey, I'm done. I want to go here. Like, I believe that whenever I made plans, they never fell through. They never worked out for me. So I'm just waiting for, I'm just waiting for an opportunity.
What kind of opportunity are you looking for?
An opportunity to change, something that's for me. I mean, I know there's a lot of things out there, a lot of programs out there, a lot of rehabs out there, but everybody has different needs, and so everything don't work for everybody. And as soon as I find that opportunity that works for me,
how are you going to know what's worked for you unless you've tried everything?
Yeah, you're right.
No one's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, "This, hey, I have the perfect recipe for you."
Yeah, you're right. Well, I basically know what my needs are, because like I was turned down for rehabs because I have to have medical. You have to have a medical release before you go inside of some of these places, and I wasn't medically approved. So what do you do for somebody like me that has medical issues?
We can put you in contact with somebody that may be able to help you. You have to be, you have to be 100% ready to go.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I am scared, kind of.
Well, everyone's scared because your lifestyle is going to change. It's going to completely 100% change.
Right.
And when you come out of rehab, you're going to have responsibilities.
I remember one time I was locked up for 4 months, and I wanted to stay clean so bad. I was so afraid to leave the jail.
And what happened?
And I tried. I really did try. But when I came home, I had no resources. I had no options. So the options that I did have were from people that were still getting high and still running and ripping the streets.
Right.
So that was my thing. My thing was always, I had no shelter. That was always my thing. I had no real place to go.
But let me ask you this, and I'm asking sarcastically in a way. Of all the money you spent on drugs, what size house would you have right now?
Well, yeah, I would have a beautiful mansion on the beach somewhere.
So you have resources.
Yeah, but guess where I get that money from to get the drugs?
Well, I understand that.
So that's my problem. How do I come home? I've never been in a place where when I came out, I was able to get a job, able to live somewhere where I could save up money. Because as long as I was working, I was clean for 5 years, as long as I had a job. When I didn't have a job and nowhere to stay, that's when I came back into the streets. That's the whole thing.
So if you're interested, we can put you in contact with the rehab.
Okay.
If that's something you're interested in. We're not here to force your hand.
Yeah, no, I was just talking to your wife about that.
So we'll jot it down on the back of business cards, an 800 number.
Yeah, she's doing that for me. Yeah.
And if you're ready to move on it, then we move on it. And if not, do it in your own time. We're just here to be a resource.
Right.
So we're not here to force you one way or the other.
Yeah, I have different things I need to do that I have to get done medically. I have a lot of different medical problems. Well, not big ones, just little ones, but I have nowhere to live. I have no way to pay for where I'm living. And the streets was the only, being in the streets, dating and escorting is the only money that I have. And when you're doing that, you're tired and you need drugs to survive that.
I understand.
So.
Well, hopefully something breaks loose for you soon and you're able to start living in a lifestyle you deserve.
Right.
But that's all the questions I have. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to let you get through the trailer and get you some new digs here. All right?
Thank you.
You take care.
All right.